Lagos, welcome. Obviously, one of my favorite parts of the Saturday Breakfast Jam is, when we have conversations about, sickle cell. Welcome to Surviving Sickle Cell, show brought to you by Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria, and it's a collaborative effort with Inspiration FM. And guess what? Consultant public health physician and national director, CEO, Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria, Dr. Akinsete is back on the radio. She's back on the radio today, and it's good, to have you. And we're going to be, having a conversation about, the 2022 World Sickle Cell Day. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's like I've been away for 2 years.
Yes, more than 2 years.
I'm glad to be back here. Really nice to speak with you, talk with you, and have all our listeners out there engage with us again.
Yeah, it feels good to have you back. And what in time? Super excited that, you're back in time for the World Sickle Cell Day as well.
Fantastic. That's why I said, today's talk is just going to be countdown to our World Sickle Cell Day. Now, Sickle Cell Day, it's celebrated on June 19th.
Yes.
And it's a newish World Day. Other days like World Malaria Day, World AIDS Day have been on for years. So World Sickle Cell Day is just about maybe about 12 years old now. The first Sickle Cell Day was celebrated in 2008.
Okay.
2008. Okay, and I'm so happy that, in fact, I'm blessed. I feel blessed that I was there in New York, in the United Nations, and I was part of that lobby and negotiation. It takes a lot to get the UN to designate a date,
yes,
for a particular cause. So for us to, we feel that sickle cell is our own thing. We kept feeling, left out. We kept feeling that our cause, our agenda was being pushed to the back burner. So we fought hard as the people, as individuals, and as persons, particularly those of us who are of African descent.
Yeah.
It's also the Caribbean, people from the Caribbean, Jamaicans, African Americans. So the fight was a synergistic one, and it took us years. But the first one was celebrated in 2008. That was the year that there was a resolution passed by the United Nations to designate June 19th as World Sickle Cell Day. So I'll just say I felt blessed to be in the place at the right time and be part of that struggle. And that's just an fun fact. That's the way of the world. You have to negotiate things.
Yes.
You just don't sit back and think everything will fall in your lap.
Oh, it should be given to you freely.
So that's how we got our World Sickle Cell Day. And over the years, everyone has, the world has been turning attention every 19th of June to sickle cell and asking more and more questions about it, learning more about it, and so on and so. So Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria, and government of Nigeria, were joining the rest of the world to mark World Sickle Cell Day. And like everything else, sickle cell, over time, though, sickle cell has kind of gained traction, and there's interest in the populace more than before. Definitely, I can tell you because I've been in this space for decades. So I know how much difference, how much has happened over time.
Yeah.
Government, there's now what I would call political will. Because there's a desk in the Ministry of Health, in the Federal Ministry of Health. There's a desk officer in charge of sickle cell control.
That's pretty great. That's good.
So when we talk policies, they're coming up with policies. But we also, even though we are NGO, I think I've said here on this program before that our strategy for working is public-private partnership.
Yes.
So we're out there and we're reminding government that we're here to do your bidding. Just give us the policies, back it up with laws, legislation, because that's how we work in the democratic dispensation, and to give the policies what I would call bite, so that if you flout them, there will be consequences. So we want there to be strong policies for sickle cell that take care of those who already have the condition, that take care of all the aspects from prevention, what preventing to treatment, to care and support, and also for even cure. So all those policies that's what we want government to keep doing. Make sure that you put out those policies there, support them with strong legislation.
Okay.
So you also put money where your mouth is.
Very true.
that's the difference between what happened with the United States and us. In the United States, they have some sickle cell, not as us, because they have black people. Remember, the slave trade took a lot of black people from West Africa to the U.S. And it was in 1972 that President Nixon signed an act for sickle cell. And the difference, when that happened, there's a graph I really love looking at. The longevity or life expectancy of persons with sickle cell up to that 1972 was just like 20 years. But by the time that act came into being, and then they put their money where their mouth was, a lot of research went into sickle cell. And then treatment protocols began to be applied to persons with sickle cell. And their life expectancy went up to 60 over a period of 2 years. 60 years, I tell you, is even more than the average life expectancy of a normal Nigerian.
Very true. I mean,
so don't talk of those with sickle cell. So we've come a long way. Anyway, we are galvanizing efforts. We're bringing all thoughts and minds together to join us in celebrating World Sickle Cell Day on June 19th. And so we have a lot of activities.
I was going to ask, let's dive into the activities, things that everyone should start getting ready for, be preparing for, and all that.
Exactly. So we've already started. We did. We had a school quiz competition.
Okay.
Sickle cell disorder. We had 24 schools in the private and public schools, drawn from all education districts in Lagos.
Okay.
They came to our center in Surulere. It was a fun, creative way, of raising awareness about sickle cell amongst young people. Catch them young, know about this thing long before you begin to go into relationships. Think of marrying
and all the rest of that.
Already know, yes. So, and then it was highly competitive. Those children were very smart. This held on Tuesday last week, Tuesday the 31st. That kick-started all our activities.
Okay.
And, we had 3 winners, first, second, third, and they came away with trophies, but every school got something.
Wow.
For participating.
Amazing.
Having to tell them, look, many of those questions, Dr. Akinsete, I couldn't answer. So I'm going to go back and find out. But I said you're lucky, your students, at a time when you have so much resource. So at your fingertips, your phone has everything. So what we're doing here is like a tip of the iceberg, just to whet your appetite. Go back and then research more about sickle cell, learn more about it. Bolade Senior Grammar School came first.
Wow.
Recognize them here. Unity Senior High School came second. And Community Senior Secondary School came third.
Oh, congratulations to them.
Fantastic. I now found that you don't have to be in all the expensive. I'm not putting them down.
Yeah, obviously.
For this school, these children are very bright. I recall the third position. We had to do the tiebreaker. I think we asked about 6 questions before we could break the tie.
Wow. Getting the answers.
And these were tough questions.
Very tough questions.
That they had really prepared. So that was our first activity. And the second one is coming up on the 9th.
Okay.
On the 9th of June, which is next week, yeah, Thursday. We're now going into the community. Now we've talked to young people in schools.
Yes.
And that is they're a demographic that you can find together. You can gather together easily. Now we want to go out into the community, the way the community really works. That's where you're going to find people of all ages, mothers, fathers, women's groups, opinion leaders, traditional leaders, of course the politicians and all that. So we're going to a place called Igondo.
Okay, that's around Alimosho now.
Alimosho, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and in Lagos, I find that you don't really. There are a few places that are purely rural, but they're flung away, and most of them are probably in the riverine, the riverine areas.
Yes.
Yeah, most of our LGAs are suburban there, and they're peri-urban. That's the way we designate them. They're urban areas, but they also, you cannot say they're rural. However, they need also to be educated about sickle cell in the language that they can understand. So we're working here with the local government, not on our own. It's the local government that they know their people. We are reaching out to the various kinds of leaders, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
The leaders, the opinion leaders, the political leaders, anyway, they're giving us a secretariat to work from. We're going to have free genotype testing so that people will know their genotype, for particularly the young people.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it makes more sense to know what your genotype is before you begin to make decisions about having children.
Mm.
We're also going to have free blood group testing, because we talked about this thing, that blood group is different from genotype.
Very true. We did.
And they say, oh, I know my genotype, but it's actually the blood group they are talking about. So, but that's also free. And then because we're going to have doctors with us, we're going to treat anybody who comes and complains that I have a headache and my body's paining me, I have this or whatever. So common ailments will be treated there and then, and free medication given. Those who cannot be treated out there will refer to the general hospitals in the area.
Okay.
So we call that a community outreach. And besides educating, of course, there's going to be a lot of talking and explaining and talking about sickle cell. And we're going to hand over materials on information about sickle cell to the community, to the chairman of the local government, to the Minister of Health, so that they have the flyers in English and in Yoruba.
Okay, that's very good.
I have information about sickle cell. That's our second activity coming up on the 9th. And then we have a charity walk that we've tagged as the Red Umbrella Walk.
Okay.
We've been doing it for a while, and not on our own. We do it in collaboration with other sickle cell NGOs. And we've come under this umbrella we call the Coalition of Sickle Cell NGOs.
Okay.
We're quite a number. We just thought, rather than everyone doing their own thing differently, let's come together and have one big activity, and that is this walk. So we're carrying the message of sickle cell to the streets now. See, we've talked to schools, we've talked in the community, with a selected community, but now we're going to the streets. You know how you have them float, music, making a lot of noise. Make a lot of noise.
Try to pass the message across, and while we're doing that, we're having fun.
Absolutely. So people we're going to be engaging people one-on-one, talking with them as we're passing by, and this will be somewhere in Oshodi, I gather.
Okay.
And it's not just Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria. It's Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria. It's Crimson Bold, a number, SAMI, many Sickle Cell NGOs coming together.
Okay.
To do this work. And it's not just in Lagos.
That was what I was about to say. But I got the memo. That's not just in Lagos.
Exactly. It's also in Lagos, in Abuja Federal Capital Territory, and in Delta State. This is the first time we're doing it outside of Lagos.
Oh, pretty great. It's going to be a fantastic one, I am sure.
Yeah, we've reached out to other people who are interested in the sickle cell cause and bringing everybody together. And I'm so happy we're at this stage, that this time in life, in our lifetime, where communication has really, gone through the roof. And I believe also that the COVID, couple of years of COVID,
yes,
really gave us something that is reaching out into ourselves to find a way of communicating without being there physically. So those who cannot even join us physically for this work are going to be able to watch us on social media. So it's going to be streamed live for those who cannot be there in person. So those are that's the third one. Then the flagship event of Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria is our annual public lecture on sickle cell disorder. This is something we do every year. And during the COVID years, we did it virtually on Zoom, and actually had now it's going to be hybrid. Whilst the physical event is happening at our center in our purpose hall on the Tuesday, the 21st of June, we're also going to have a Zoom platform for those who cannot be there in person, and it opens up the entire program to the world.
That's very good.
You'll find colleagues, persons with sickle cell, sisters, sickle cell NGOs from other parts of Africa and the world, keen in joining it all, involved in asking and making an inquiry. So I'm really looking forward to having everyone on board on that day. Now they have a distinguished professor of hematology, hemato-oncology, immunology, in the person of Professor Nora Akinola.
Okay, that's great.
Obafemi Awolowo University Teaching Hospital, Ile-Ife. She will be our keynote speaker. We have another speaker who will be joining us by Zoom from London. Very, very, very experienced genetic counselor and trainer, Mrs. Comfort Okolo.
Okay.
Also on our faculty for training sickle cell genetic counselors from all over Africa, all over the world, in fact. She's based in London. She'll join us by Zoom. Again, that's, like I said, one of the things that COVID gave us. Now we can reach out to anyone.
Everybody can join virtually.
Exactly. So that, and then the chairman will be none other than Dr. Olufemi Mobolaji. Wow. He's a senior, much senior colleague of ours. But what he's really known for is continuous training, engagement. He's a pediatrician of repute, international repute, and a distinguished fellow of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria. He's also the founder and chairman of ML Hospital, an examiner and an administrator. He will chair the event, and he's very good. I've watched him chair events, like this.
Okay.
Moderate for you at the same time, so that the audience participates very actively.
Very true.
He has a knack for that, and the audience is going to be very diverse. It's going to include not just doctors and nurses and pharmacists or other health workers. There'll be government officials, there'll be private sector, there'll be diplomats. We're inviting the diplomatic community so that they know what we're doing. The religious community, students are going to be there as well. Patients, of course, and their families, friends, and so it's a diverse audience, and which is why I like a chairman like Dr. Olufemi Mobolaji. He makes sure that all the speakers break it down, so that everybody understands. And then we have someone who has sickle cell herself, who's now over 40, and so is called a sickle cell champion. Okay. She's going to be a speaker as well. She's a pastor and a great orator, so I look forward to also listening to her. So those are the speakers of the day, and that will happen on Tuesday, the 21st. And you are cordially invited. Okay. All of you.
I was waiting for that part.
FM, very warmly invited. I want to see all of you if you can make it. It will be really, really nice to see you all.
It will be amazing, for us to be there and for us, be able to enjoy ourselves while we also learn.
And there'll be food. There's
the best part.
If you come, you go away with something to eat.
The best part of it.
There's also exhibition on that day. There'll be exhibitions from pharmaceutical companies, HMOs. Our health insurance system still in its infancy. Let's face it.
Very true.
We have a problem with HMOs and sickle cell. They do not normally sign up persons with sickle cell.
Why?
Yes, they say they're in this thing for business. So we've had serious meetings with them, and we continue to engage with them. This is why I've invited them to say, please come and join us. And if nothing else, let it be a kind of CSR that you be doing. They think it's not good business for them if they take on persons with sickle cell who are who are frequently ill, medication. So it's like they'll talk about pre-existing conditions. That is just one pre-existing. So I just wonder why are you there? Why are you in existence? I really don't understand this, quite frankly, but they have tried to explain that they're in this for business, and so it's not really good business to take on persons who have pre-existing conditions. But I'm inviting them to be there to also exhibit their works. And then children with sickle cell works are going to be on display and also be auctioned on that day. Okay. If you have our children with sickle cell, they have plenty of artwork that they have done. Some children as young as 2. Very interesting art materials. So they'll be on display as well, so that persons can see what they can do for themselves.
Okay, that's pretty amazing.
Yes.
All right, that's quite a lot, and all of these things as well. I'm sure that you also were able to get a few people to join, to come on board, to ensure that all of these things will go as planned and as possible. All right, and let's also talk about the ambassador that is going to be joining you. You've not told me about that.
Oh yes! Look at that. Kolade, I need you on my right hand all the time. Thank you. Yes, our sickle cell ambassador, Lekon was the winner of the, what was that?
BB Nigeria season 5.
Season 5, that was it. But he's been very active and working very closely with us to raise awareness about sickle cell. He has sickle cell disorder.
Mm-hmm.
But his own is sickle cell, and he has hemoglobin ST.
Wow.
T. And he told me he didn't know for a while that he had sickle cell. But even then, it's not as severe as SS.
Yes.
They have the same symptoms and signs, but not as severe.
Mm.
And then he's out there, and this is the time that we need him more than ever before.
Obviously.
Sickle cell day, the entire month, to help us put, loudspeakers really speak out loud about sickle cell.
Mm. Okay.
Young persons especially.
All right, pretty amazing. Because we're running out of time right now. Just in case people got more extra questions to ask, they want to be a part of it, they want to know how to reach you. For people who probably want to support the event, who probably feel they've got something they need to contribute to the event as well, maybe by funds, whatsoever, how can they reach out to you?
We need all the support we can get. I'm not sure if I can talk about that. But if you want to reach us, no, let me dial back. First of all, for the walk, you can register online.
Mm-hmm.
And to register online, just get to any of our social media platforms. So I'll give you the our Instagram handle is Sickle Cell Foundation NG.
Okay.
Sickle Cell Foundation NG. On Facebook, Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria. You'll find us. Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria. Then Twitter Sickle Cell Nige, N-I-G, Sickle Cell Nige. But then emails very easily, info@sicklecellfoundation.com. Our website is www.sicklecellfoundation.com. And on any of these, you can find that registration link and register and join us for the walk. You have a free umbrella and a free T-shirt.
Okay, that's pretty amazing. A free umbrella and a free T-shirt. Just join.
You see? So you better come, call us.
Something free for me at the end of the day. All right, thank you so much for being a part of the show today.
I didn't leave our telephone numbers.
You leave your telephone numbers real quick.
Okay, 0810-000-2001. Second one is 0810-000-2003. They're easy to remember.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Ma, for stopping by and for coming back.
Thank you.
All right. Next week is going to be another fantastic edition, so make sure you stick around. For us, Lagos, I think we're done with that, so the show is over. I'll be back here, God willing, on Monday. Make sure you stay out of trouble. Connect with the station on all platforms. IFM 923 Lagos for Instagram. IFM 923 on Twitter. For me, it's Colade Dominate. I leave you, in the capable hands of the bills that I have to pay. But anyway, we'll kick off with word for today first. Right after that, the news coming up at the top of the hour.